Well, hello and welcome back to our show. And there was a great card of racing on Saturday at the Meadowlands, and I was there betting it too.
I was there.
Oh,
ooh, there's my souvenir program from the Hambletonian.
And how did you look? Were you steamy hot?
I'm still hot. That's how hot I was on Saturday. You know, it's funny though, I didn't watch one race because I was just too busy, you know, being a social butterfly.
Yeah, well, and it was a great day there. They had an amazing card. And I was in an OTB betting my face off, but betting the wrong races, but I will get to that later. You'll hear some racetrack stories. Hello.
Great.
Anyway, in the biggest of the day, it was $1.5 million. It was the Hambletonian, the biggest race of the year. It's a trot. All the big guys were in town. And with all that, here's Heather.
Just want to say something. In my defense, the reason I did not get to see the Hambletonian live is there are so many people at the track. I could not see it. I couldn't see the track. I couldn't even see the Jumbotron.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
people
a great thing. Yeah. So in here you want to check out Muscle Hill. He's the favorite because he's a monster. Also, we've got Explosive Matter, the only one that may or may not be close, but the only one that's going to give him a run for his money anyway.
That you predicted would win the race last week.
I predicted that would win the race. That's right. The rest of the horses are double digits, including Symphonic Hanover, and he won his elimination last week. So let's check it out.
Muscle Hill protects that rail position, striding out to the top. Explosive Matter is right there racing in second and drops in behind him. Hotshot Blue Chip is off stride. Hotshot Blue Chip jumped it off in the opening turn. Symphonic Hanover lines up on the inside in third. Then it's 2 lengths to Triumphant Caviar. The Chancellor backed off his leave-a-tap. He's parked out on the outside. Cal Chip's Brute is moving up 6th at the rail. Federal Flex stuck behind the Chancellor. The quarter is on the board in 27 and 1. Racing in 8th is Rainsman Hanover. Judge Joe backed off the gate. He's 9th on the back stretch, and a costly break by Hotshot Blue Chip, who trails the field. So Muscle Hill is in control, and Explosive Matter drafts right in behind for that perfect trip, and these two have a bit of separation on Symphonic Hanover is 2 lengths further back in third. Triumphant Caviar content to track the top trio in 4th. The Chancellor on the outside 5th. Cal Chip's Brute is 6th to his inside, 55 seconds for the half-mile marker. So Muscle Hill yet to see any pressure as they head onto the far turn. Explosive Matter waiting as long as possible is right there, a tighter second. Symphonic Hanover third. Here comes Triumphant Caviar. He's first over on the outside, about 4 lengths from the lead. Cal Chip's Brute is locked in on the inside. Then the Chancellor and Federal Flex third over, and Muscle Hill opens up to a 2-length lead. Explosive Matter looking to trot with him in second as they come past 3/4, 1:23 flat. Muscle Hill looking to take him all the way at the top of the stretch. Explosive Matter now with 2.5 lengths to make up is chasing in second, 1/8 of a mile from the wire, and it is Muscle Hill who's striding clear for Brian Sears.
Muscle Hill was just a flat-out gorilla and a cash cow. He slapped around the best 3-year-old trotters on the planet like they were gnats. Went to the front, you know, from the rail, won off by 6 by himself in 1:50 and 1. This is a trotter, ladies and gentlemen, and he was under wraps, never really asked. Your horse, Explosive Matter, didn't matter and got second. Cal Chip's Brute, a 60-to-1 bomber with John Campbell, was third.
Explosive Matter will matter, though, in the Colonial Trot tomorrow here at Chester, so keep that in mind. Let me just say, John Campbell finishes third in that race. He's like, what, 60-to-1? Never discount John Campbell when you're going for the big bucks.
You are correct. They had the Hambletonian Oaks, which was the Philly version of the Hambletonian, and with that, here's Hot Heather.
Wow, thank you. Woo. Okay, and here, Broadway Schooner, Raising Rachel, and Elusive Desire. All 3 of these girls won their limb, with Elusive Desire being the favorite, but she did not pull it off. She was close. In fact, there were 4 horses close at the wire. It was only a whisker separating Broadway Schooner, who won, and Raising Rachel, who was second. The race went in 1:54. Elusive Desire, who I mentioned was the favorite, she was third. Now, Brian Sears becomes the first driver in history to win the Hambletonian and the Hambletonian Oaks in the same day.
Wow.
So, big day for Brian Sears. We're going to have more later on in the show from that big Hambletonian card, but we're going to head to Chester now, right?
We are. Harris Chester, race 12 on Sunday, was a Pennsylvania Sire Stake. Gnger and Fred was the overwhelming 1-9 favorite. Everybody else in the field was double digits. Let's find out. Could he lose? Let's find out. Here's James with the call.
And they're off. Gordy's Pet Fast off the mark from the center of the track. Kiss Me Kate shows speed, and so too does Insider Tip at the cones. And Gordy's Pet will lead them into the first turn under just mild pressure from Kiss Me Kate. These two have opened up by 3.5 from Insider Tip. And Gnger and Fred is a comfortable fourth at this stage. He's 1 off the cones and 5 lengths from the front. Racing Star is next by 2. Then comes 4 Stars Molly and 2.5 away last is TSM Darling Star T. The quarter was 27 seconds even. And here she comes. Gnger and Fred makes her move to the front. Gnger and Fred, the 1-9 favorite, has cleared Gordy's Pet with no trouble at all. Kiss Me Kate is third by a length and 3/4. Insider Tip is fourth. Racing Star is fifth. TSM Darling Star T, 6 to the outside. And 4 Stars Molly is seventh and last, 9 lengths off pace setter Gnger and Fred, who paced a half in 54 3, and she did so in effortless fashion. Gnger and Fred leads them up the backstretch. She's a length and a half in front of Gordy's Pet in second. Insider Tip is advancing steadily first over, now within 2.5 of Gnger and Fred. Kiss Me Kate is locked in from fourth. Wide of that, Racing Star is gapped on cover. 4 Stars Molly has 5 lengths to make up with 5/16 to go. And some 5.5 detached from the main body of the field is TSM Darling Star T. Gnger and Fred to 3/4 and 123-1, and she's turned away Insider Tip. Gnger and Fred under no urging is opened up by 4. Gordy's Pet is back into second with Insider Tip, and Racing Star tips wide of that. They're in the stretch, and it's Gnger and Fred. Gnger and Fred demolishing this field, annihilating this field. There aren't enough superlatives.
To the surprise of absolutely no one, Gnger and Fred at 1-9 aired in 150-3, and Gnger and Fred will be here tomorrow at Harris Chester to test not enough. It was undefeated at 10 for 10. Insider Tip at 42-1 with George Napolitano Jr. was second. Kiss Me Heather, Kiss Me Kate, with Double D Dan Dubé, another bomber at 33-1 got third. Other winners of the $60,000 divisions of the Pennsylvania Sire Stake at Harris Chester on Sunday: Hats Away with Andrew McCarthy winning in 152-1, Idle and Tony Morgan in 151-1, and Bloggett Hanover in 151-3 with Dave Palone. Let's stay at Harris Chester for the 8th. What do you got, darling?
Yes, on Monday we had 4 divisions of 3-year-old filly trotters, and we're going to take a look at Broadway Page. She's the better's choice with Tim Tetrick. All Star Hanover recently won a Pennsylvania Sire Stake over at Pocono Downs, and Spiceberry Hanover is trained by Ron Gerfine, who I mentioned in another show. It's called the Trotting Guru, which is so cool.
Ooh.
Wouldn't you love to be the Trotting Guru? You know?
Did he come up with the foxtrot too?
No, I don't think so.
And Spiceberry Hanover is going to the front, flanked by All Star Hanover and Daddy's Lhasa. Broadway Page is up close early on, and Misty Molly Morning drives through up the cones to take third as they enter the first turn. And it's All Star Hanover with the neck in front. All Star Hanover now leads by a length, and she is driven out to clear Spiceberry Hanover, who yields to the pocket spot immediately. Misty Molly Morning is third. Broadway Page is fourth. Daddy's Lhasa is fifth. Photomania is just off the cones from sixth, and then comes Lady B Pearl, who is second last. The trailer is Lynn Slider, and they're single file behind All Star Hanover through a 28-second first quarter. They come past us the first time, 8-5 second choice. All Star Hanover leads by a length and a half. From in the pocket, Spiceberry Hanover. Misty Molly Morning is third, and now the 6-5 public choice. Broadway Page angles off the cones from fourth, and she's 3 lengths from All Star Hanover. Daddy's Lhasa is following cover. It's 2 lengths from that front quintet to a ground-saving Lynn Slider. Wide of that, a stalling Photomania, and Lady B Pearl is last. 9 off All Star Hanover through a 58 3/2 mile. Up the backstretch, All Star Hanover's pressed on by Broadway Page, just 3 parts of a length away on the outside. Spiceberry Hanover in the loose pocket, 2 lengths from the lead. Misty Molly Morning has 4 to make up. Daddy's Lhasa is backpedaling on the outside despite urging. Lynn Slider has some 6.5 to come. Lady B Pearl is 8.5 adrift of All Star Hanover, and Photomania has dropped back to last. 126-1 for 3/4. They come off this final turn, and All Star Hanover maintains just a half-length lead. Broadway Page continues to give chase, and she's stalling now. Spiceberry Hanover moves to the open stretch, and All Star Hanover is called upon by David Miller. Spiceberry Hanover is closing quickly up the inside. These two coming down to the line. Photo finish.
All Star Hanover goes from start to finish, and it was really close, but she does hang on in 155-3 with David Miller on the bike for trainer Joe Holloway.